So, you've just come from roughly where? From the east?
We were in the Eastern Front, in the Donbass region.
What was that like?
I have one word to describe, and it's just hell. Yeah, hell.
And why?
Because every day you're getting casualties. Every day you're getting your friends getting killed. And it's days after days. And most of the missions, actually, of my my friends that they come from the Marines, from the States, it was just going to recover dead bodies of our friends that were killed in action from their previous patrol. So, yeah, it was life over there for us.
What has been your main job there?
For me, I was just used as a infantry soldier. Actually, I was paired up with the Canadian sniper Wally, so I was his teammate. So we were always together, and I was making sure to help him as much as I can, and I was always following him everywhere. I was carrying ammunition. So yes, mainly that was my my main job over there.
Did you find yourself in direct contact?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
You want to take me through that? But you're not talking about just artillery. You're talking about direct contact.
So are we talking about just the east, or can I talk about?
You can talk about wherever you want. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, me and Wally's first missions in Irpin. It was to go into a apartment building and set up a sniper position from there. So we go up, we set ourselves, and then we start observing. And then maybe like 10 minutes after, it's like huge explosion. The building shakes, all the window breaks, and then I find myself on the ground. And I remember I said, "What the hell is that?" And then I just like crawl into like a safe room, you know. So we just got hit by a tank. He shelled the building just above us, like he missed us by like 3 meters. And then me and Wally, we meet in the room, and then after that, we started to get small arm fire to us. And then we got out of the building, and then after that, huge firefight. That was my first firefight. We had the Russians, they were like 50 meters from us. Bullets flying everywhere. We could not do anything, and they actually tried to surround us, right? And at that point, we had one casualty. One of our friends got shot at the shoulder by a Russian sniper. So in his right hand, he was carrying his pistol, and then he was like covering his wound like that, bleeding everywhere, and and he kept running and stuff. And then bullets flying everywhere. And then one of our Ukrainian friends said, "All right, like we have to get the hell out of it, because we were not controlling the situation. We were the one that got into fire." So anyway, like it was like total chaos, right? And then he shot. That guy saved our life. He shot RPG to the Russians, and it gives us enough time to just run for your life, right? And then I remember I was running, and then huge explosion just at my right. I think it was like mortar fire or something. Bullet just flying. And then we had came with vans, you know, like vans. So everyone get in the vans as soon as possible. So it was in the van, it was the guy that was shot. And then after that, my friend Wally. And then after that, me. But like we all had our kit on us, right? So for me, my right hand was holding the head panel of the the passenger seat, and I was holding the other head panel, right? But we were too much in the van, so I couldn't close the door. So my back was outside the van, and I was holding like that. And that guy was driving like 100 kilometers in like a really residential street, right? And and then if I had left, I would just fall and just like fall on the ground. And then I had like the passenger guy was still shooting at them when we left. So and then we just it's a miracle, like we just made it out of there. But I mean, yeah, and that was our first patrol, our first mission. And then from there it just got worse. Yeah, that's what I would say.
How long ago were you in the east, in Donbass?
I would say about maybe 10 days ago. We did approximately 1 week there because at first we were fighting in Irpin. Then after that, with our group, we freed the city from the Russian. And then me and Wally and our unit, we got sent to fight in the east. And then, yeah, in the east it was total different experience, because in Irpin it was mainly urban fighting, but in the east it was like the vibe was like World War II. It's like rain, mud, fields, trenches. Yeah, and it was hard because there was an entire Russian tank regiment on the other side of the valley, but we could not really do anything because we had one javelin with us, and actually Wally learned in 2 hours how to operate the javelin. And then just like that, we became a javelin operating crew, like me and Wally. So after that, we were always sent on missions with the javelin, right? But the tanks, they were too far away for us to engage with the javelin. So every time we would go out, they would just shoot at us. And then there was one morning. That one morning, me and Wally, we left. The mission was to go on a one-day mission, right? Like in the little forest, to observe. If tanks approach, we engage them with the javelin. So 5 o'clock, it's me and Wally. We walked there. We walked there. It was like 1.5 kilometers in the mud and stuff. And then we arrived on our position, and there was like a trench, and there were already 2 of our friends, Ukrainian, in the trench, right? So Wally looked at me and he said, "Hey buddy, like, can you just stay in the trench? Like, you don't need to be outside." And I was like, "All right, man. Like, it's pretty boring to just sit in a trench when your buddy like is doing some work." But I listened to him. And then I go in the trench, and then the two Ukrainian friends, they come out of the trench, right? And then Wally said to them, "Hey guys, go back in the trench." And they just did not listen, and they were just smoking just beside the trench and stuff. And then Wally went a little bit further to observe like the Russian tanks he could see with his binoculars. And then for me, what I remember is I was in the trench, and then I removed my helmet, right? And then I put it on the ground, and like the sun is coming out, and like, it's a pretty good day. Maybe I will go out and just like talk to my Ukrainian friends, right? So I'm about to come out. I put my first feet on the little step, and then it just happened. Huge explosion. So I fell in the trench on my back, and it just like in the movies, like in my ears, like ding, like that little sound. Then I'm like, what the hell? And then I get up, That's and then now and then I understood what had happened. Like we just got shot by a Russian tank, and it was like very precise shot. They could see us very good, right? They shot right between our two friends, and then I got up, I put back my helmet, and I look, I see one of my friend dead. Is not moving. He's not moving. He's just lying on the ground. He's dead. It's sure he's dead. Like there's no way to survive that. And then I looked to the other one. He was like just a couple of feet from me, and then he was still breathing, but no legs. He didn't have any legs. And then we made eye contact. I looked at him. He looked at me. And then after that, his head just like started to move on his right, and you could see his body crisping and stuff. So he just like passed away in front of my eyes. So I was like, all right. So yeah, just two of my friends died in front of my eyes. So and then after that, me and Wally. I mean, Wally saved my life on that day, because he told me to stay in the trench. But after that, me and Wally just got together. And then it's funny because Wally like was saying things like, I wonder if I can get them with the javelin from here. And I was like, bro, we need to get the hell out of here. Like, there's nothing we can do. Like, we need to get out of here. And then he said, oh, I need to go get my sniper rifle. So he crawled back beside the trench. The tank shot once again at the same place. He received like shrapnel and stuff, but like it's fine. And then he took a look on the guys just to double check, but there was nothing. Like they were both dead, right? So he grabbed his sniper rifle and then he started running. And then we started to run, and then we heard the tank shooting again. And then we just went back to the base at that point. So yeah, that was my last patrol on the Eastern Front.
Why are you here?
So why? That's a good question. I'm here to help, right? I mean, the war started February 24th. And I just could not stay at home watching on TV, because you know, like most of the Western people, like they see everything that goes in the news, and then they think, it's sad for them, but it's not here. So they just close the TV and then they go eat with their kids and just keep living their life. But for me, I just cannot do that. And then on February 28th, when the president, the Ukrainian president, made a public call for foreign fighters to come help him. I saw the call. It was Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I was in the plane on Monday at 1800 in the evening. I was on the plane on my way to Ukraine to help.
What do you think about the Ukrainians now that you've been fighting alongside them?
So they are total heroes. Like, there is no words to describe their courage. They are very good fighters, and every single of them is ready to fight until death to save their country. So for us, we are lucky. We can always go back home and like try to live a normal life, but for them, no. Like, they can, like, their home is the one at war, so they don't have any choice to keep fighting no matter what happens.
Speaking of back home, what do you say to your family? Votre famille.
I'm saying I am sorry for like all the stress that I am giving you, but I think I have a job to do here. I want to do my part. I want to help those guys. So Yeah, and I hope they understand.
Just one thing, it struck me because you wear the Canadian flag very proudly.
Oui,
Do you think Canada should be doing more?
of course. Yes, sir. We are talking here about a country that has been invaded totally by an other country, right? And we are talking about civilians dying every day. In Mariupol, they had 10,000 civilians dying. 10,000 civilians dying. Like, I don't know if you realize, I was fighting in Irpin, and then we found mass grave in Bucha, right? So, I understand that Ukraine is not part of NATO, right? But my feel is that the world has let down Ukraine in a whole. Just using the excuse, okay, Ukraine is not part of NATO, so we will just like sit back and watch, and good luck. And I mean, I would just like to say thank you for like money, weapons and stuff. But at the end of the day, if NATO had stepped in, the war would have been done in like less than a week, right? And but because everyone sit back and watch, well, we are seeing all those civilians dying, and now it's day one of the war and it's still not over. And even the President Zelensky himself, he said that the sanctions are not doing anything. Like, you know, like, thank you for the sanctions, but it's not gonna stop the war. It's not gonna do anything. What do we need? We need boots on the ground. We need troops. We need to unite together and help Ukraine. That's what we need. Prayers, I'm sorry, but it doesn't do anything. Money, yes, it helps. Armaments, yes, it helps. But at the end of the day, the Ukrainians are let alone to fight against Russia. We let the Ukrainians fight alone against Russia, and I don't have any words for this. I'm just so. That's why I had to come here to help them, because I feel that the world had let down the Ukrainians.